You know that no matter where you live, your eyes will be on the Republican and the big meeting that's happening in their spring convention in Burlingame. Today it's happening. They have events all day long with a lot of meet and greets and strategy sessions.
Yeah, but their top ticket candidate for a statewide office will not be there. So joining us live is Sonoma State University political science professor David McCuan. Good morning. So a big no-show making news this morning. Senate hopeful Steve Garvey not planning to attend the three-day convention. So that's according to his campaign. Tell us a little bit about him not being there. Is this part of a strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly as part of the Steve Garvey strategy. We saw during the primary that he didn't do a lot of retail politics events, that he wasn't out and about and available. And if there's a crowd that's going to be friendly to Steve Garvey, it's at the Republican Convention. But the reason they're doing that is because they don't want to be seen with the daughter-in-law of the former president, Laura Trump. She'll be here. They don't want to be seen with Kristi Noem, who wanted to run for vice president with Donald Trump, but obviously has an animal issue. And so they're worried about Steve Garvey being portrayed as an extremist. But remember, you've got Garvey there on the screen with the Dodgers. He played with the Dodgers in 1988, 36 years ago, and that's the last time a Republican won the U.S. Senate seat in California, and the last time a Republican won this state for president. So there are some reasons to strategically to not appear with Republicans, because you don't want to appear to be an extremist. On the other hand, this is a deeply blue state, and if you want to give a good go at this against Adam Schiff, if you want to put California in play at some level, you're going to need the base. The base isn't going to go anywhere, but it does present some strategic difficulties for Steve Garvey moving forward. It also is an opportunity that he misses to appear before television cameras as well.
Well, and speaking to optics and Mr. Garvey, you know, it might signal the fact that he has an idea, just looking at the lineup of speakers, that they are going to go hard right. You got Kristi Noem, who a lot of people are saying is in the front runner to be Trump's running mate for vice president, and you have Laura Trump, who really holds all the keys to everything. To me, the fundamental question for all of this is, if Joe Biden wins, will the Republicans who take the stage acknowledge a win? Because in interviews, oftentimes these high-level Republicans, when they're asked that one key question, will you honor a win, they hedge it.
They don't just hedge it. They also go after the media for asking the question. And they go after folks like you, folks like me, for trying to get some idea of their really kind of ability to grab and recognize a legitimate vote. The 2020 election had virtually no levels of fraud. It was the most security safe election that we've seen. As professional political scientists, as election scholars, we looked at this. It's not because we're kind of crazy commie college professors. It's nothing like that at all. It's that the security of the vote is very stringent. There are changes in certain states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Arizona since 2020. That's important. And of the 6 battleground states that really matter, each candidate needs to win about 3 each. For Democrats, they need to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Donald Trump needs to flip Arizona. He needs to flip Nevada. And he needs to flip Georgia. And that means that we're set forth for a really contentious negative race. So I think voters, listeners, viewers should strap in and get ready, because this is in some ways a kickoff. Steve Garvey and his team don't want to be part of that as they pursue the U.S. Senate seat here in California.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to distance themselves away from some of this, what is sort of a distraction at times. I want to go back to Kristi Noem for just a second. Do you feel like her speaking here, and I mean, even is she still a potential contender to be a possible running mate to Donald Trump?
Yeah, look, Kristi Noem is in a red state, so she doesn't bring that much in terms of electoral kind of prowess or kind of heft. She is someone who's controversial. She is someone who is telegenic and articulate. Donald Trump likes that. She could play second fiddle. She could settle into that role, but she has to be moving down, not up, in terms of political stock. And I'm just going to throw out a wild card here. Look, Donald Trump is about family. He's about loyalty. Donald Trump is about someone close to his family who could join his ticket to create a political dynasty, just as much as one of these folks who've appeared at his trial with a red tie and a blue jacket and a white shirt the last week. So there are a number of issues here related to his vice presidential selection. He was in Ohio earlier this week on Wednesday for J.D. Vance for a fundraiser. You can't rule out Ohio because it has 17 electoral votes. Nonetheless, the Trump campaign is going to go quiet here for the next couple of weeks, maybe up to a month, about the speculation here, because what the Trump campaign wants to do is titillate about who potentially could be the vice president, not necessarily make the move.
Well, bottom line, this is a California convention, but when you look at the speaker lineup, it is a Trump convention. Professor David McCuan from Sonoma State, we thank you for your time. We know we'll be talking to you quite a bit in the coming months.
Happy Friday.
And nice view behind you, by the way. Every time I tell you, you've got the best view in the Bay.
And happy Friday to you, too.